Welcome my friends, Seven Gray here. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, enjoying your video experience on YouTube, and thank you so much for joining me for this video today. Today I'm working on wiring all of the stuff for my electronics in the step van. Yesterday I took a day off from doing videos and did a bunch of planning, figuring out exactly where I needed to run all the wires and some of the organization, coming up with some new layout plans, which I'll show to you in the near future in an upcoming video. Today I decided to start with the easy stuff, with the ceiling fans, which have been running off of the step van startup batteries, and to switch those over to running off of the house batteries. Pretty easy. I figured that'd be a good place to start. And by the way, I'm insulating these ceilings here in the next week or so. I just wanted to run the electric wires up in the ceiling before I do the insulation. I have 5 sheets of polyiso foam, 1.5 inches thick, that I just purchased, so that's ready to go into the ceiling area just as soon as I finish the wiring. There's basically 3 parts to the wiring, at least today, that I found. One is putting up this plastic wire loom. I decided to go with white for the house wiring, and the black, which exists here from before, for the step van, stuff that runs off of the step van startup batteries. So that was already in here in the black. All of these wires that you see up here, the black wires, were here existing in the step van, and these are plastic wire looms, the split wire looms that you can see here. So there's a bunch of those running from the front of the vehicle up here all the way to the back, and I've added this white one. So this is a white plastic wire loom, and this goes down to the battery box, to the batteries down here. So you can see the white wire loom goes out here, out through that corner hole, up along this post here, and then it cuts across here, and then you can see it coming up here and going along all the way down to the back. So I ran that wire loom all the way down there, and then I went ahead to step number 2, which was doing the ground wires for the ceiling fans. Right here you can see on the MaxAir fan, this is the ground wire, which is white, and it just goes into the side up here. And I've run this wire down here, and I've just attached it to this support rib here. This is aluminum that runs across the ceiling. So that's what I've chosen to do on both of the fans, is just go to the nearby rib just with a short wire. So I can locate this. I'm going to put some grease on here because you've got aluminum, and you've got this steel here attaching to the aluminum, which eventually will start having some sort of corrosion here. So I'm going to add some grease to this point. And I'm going to take the black wire, which is the positive, and I'm going to run it down and then splice it into this red wire, which is 14 gauge. And the red wire goes over here into the white wire loom and all the way back down to the front and into the battery power box, which is down there. The next step is to run the power wire down in here into the fuse box and add a fuse. So I've got a 5 amp fuse going out here, and then a ring terminal that I put on here, and then this wire goes up into the white wire loom and up to the ceiling fans. And I did a split right here, so right inside of here is a split where I join both power wires into the common. So there's a single wire here, goes into a Y connector split, and you get one wire coming out this way. The other wire goes all the way back down there to the other ceiling fan that's back there. Now I need to test the ceiling fans, make sure that they're working and everything is okay before I tuck these wires up away that are going along here. I'm going to push this one on, see what happens. Looks good. That one's working. Got to walk down here to the back. Alright, let's see this. Yep, that one's working too. Looks like we have success on both of the ceiling fans. Just got to tuck these loose wires away and get them ready so that when I put in the polyiso insulation over the top, that everything will be snug, and I won't have any wires that are vibrating and chaffing and developing some sort of short in the near future. So anyway, I got to try to eliminate that, and of course put the little grease over here on the ground wires where they're contacting to where they're contacting to these support ribs for the roof. Next, I'm working on my lights. I'm going to light the step van with 3 different light sources. One are the main lights, which are LEDs. Everything's LEDs. And then I also have my secondary source, which are going to be some lights for the bed area, like reading lights. I have 2 of those. And then I have some strip lights that are LED strip lights that are going to be used for lighting the kitchen countertops. So those are my 3 light sources, but I'm really excited about the new main lights, and I have 4 of these that I've purchased. I actually purchased these about 4 or 5 months ago, and they've just been sitting in a box waiting for today for this opportunity. So I'm going to put those together. But first I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing so you can check this out. Here are the light bulbs that I purchased, and these were a little bit of a hunt because they're 12 volt. They use the same socket and size as a house light bulb. So they look like 110 volt, but these are actually 12 volt, and they are gorgeous. Check this out. This is what's called an Edison bulb. So the Edison bulb has sort of the old 1800s style or early 1900s style light bulb with a little bit of like a bump on the top here. They're quite gorgeous. And then there are these little filaments inside, and the base of it is the same as your standard house light bulb. Now the cool thing about having this base on here is that I can get any house light bulb fixture source to use for it to plug into, even though it's rated for 110 volts, and then I just wire DC 12 volt into it, and it should work. So I'm really excited about this. So I thought, what kind of funky fixture could I put this cool bulb into? And I bought 4 of these. So I looked around and I hunted for several weeks until I found what I wanted, and let me show you that. This is what I found. I found this on the Home Depot website, and these are sort of replicas of the old school industrial type cages, the protective cages and a glass canopy protective thing that goes around the bulb. And these are intended for 110 volts, but I'm going to use them for my build. I've taken the pieces and parts and I've assembled them together to create this cool light here. And so this is a 12 volt bulb inside of a 110 volt cage, and I'm going to be mounting 4 of these in the step van, and it has a positive and negative here. It has a 3rd wire which I won't need in the DC, although I probably could use this as a secondary ground. I don't know, or I'll just tuck it underneath. I'm not sure on that. But I'm really excited about this. This is so cool. Very, very cool. I've mounted one of these lights up here temporarily. I don't even have shrink wrap connections or anything else. I just want to see what it looks like, and I want to test it at night tonight. So I'm going to just check, make sure I have a good electric connection here and flip this on. So this is just a temporary thing, and then eventually I'm going to put these in the proper location. Probably I'm just going to run the wiring where it needs to go, because these are going to be mounted to the ceiling rather than to the wall like this. It's on the wall right now. Again, just temporary location. Let me go get a switch and I'll flip this on. Alright, there you have it. I have power going to the light. Everything works. I want to see how this looks tonight, but this is pretty darn cool. I like the way it's looking. I think they'll look even better when they're hanging from the ceiling, because it's just sort of a different perspective on this, but really excited about this one. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. It has taken me several hours to do 3 projects today. I was able to wire and get mounted, temporary mountings, for 3 of these awesome lights. These are the cool LED lights that I love so much. So I have 3 of these wired right now. I also ran the wire loom. I ran out of the white, so I had to run black up here. But I have wire loom running all the way down one side on the passenger side, and then the white wire loom running all the way down the other side. So that was the second thing. The third thing is I went through my battery box and I checked all of the levels of the liquid inside and added distilled water to those to top those off, and I made a custom little funnel which worked really well. Let me show you. Over here is the battery box, and I've got some sawdust. I need to get a vacuum here to vacuum up all this sawdust from construction from before, but I took off all these caps And here is the little custom funnel that I made, and it fits exactly perfectly. It's a water bottle, and it fits exactly perfectly into each of these little things here. So if you're looking for a way to add distilled water in easily into lead acid batteries, this little water bottle is the perfect solution. It fits right inside, and I was able to top off the water on all of these batteries in here. I know you guys keep saying that I need to insulate the ceiling. It is coming just in a few days. I have all of the foam panels. It will be coming very, very soon. So I know you're getting annoyed with seeing my ceiling back here. Also, I'm ordering from Amazon a refractometer for batteries specifically, so that I'm able to check the acidity of the liquid in the batteries, the water, the acid water, whatever in there. So that is coming, and I will be checking that here in the next week or so. So I know I need to do that, and I'm going to choose to do that instead of the hydrometer. I understand that it's a little bit more accurate, and my friend Giuseppe gave me a little tutorial about that. Oh, I forgot to mention that I made this little switch here for the lights. And so you can see as I flip this little switch right here, ta-da, 3 lights. Isn't that awesome? That's all I have for this episode. Thank you again for watching. Savor the moment. See you next episode.